Good morning, my friends. Welcome to Carpo's Reality. As these are often the first words I speak of the day, forgive me if I have a frog in my throat. I just wanted to... By the way, happy Mother's Day, first off. It's Mother's Day 2016. I suppose I should probably say happy Mother's Day to my own mother first, but she's probably still asleep, so I get up early. Then again, she might be awake. This day, I decided to get up and get a few things done. It's I don't know. It's just one of those one of those days where I feel like I'm gonna get some stuff accomplished. At least a few things. But beyond that, which is pretty irrelevant to the point of the video, but forgive me, I'm still warming up. I wanted to talk about something that I've noticed over, I can't really attribute it to a particular time period. I can't say this is something that's just happened since the internet has come about. There have always been very intelligent people, okay? Now, when you have a discussion with someone who's more intelligent than you are, or maybe not more intelligent, but perhaps smarter about the subject, it makes it tough to debate. It makes it tough to argue. And I know that must feel pretty crappy to other people because it feels crappy to me. I should say, when you're trying to express yourself and explain a point, but the other person is so academically book smart, and they have just, so much more of an insight into a subject, then you have a choice to either learn from them or to oppose them and just say, well, they think they know too much, or to use that as a catalyst to kind of learn your own truth about the matter. But I guess before I go too far into it, I should try to at least give an example of what I'm talking about. A discussion, actually, I have several discussions, about a variety of subjects with people. And one of the subjects that came up recently, was about altruism and helping one another. And there was a particular thread that got kind of long. Several people had input. And I was trying to put in my 2 cents to say that humans, we have an inherent capacity for care and to share with one another. It makes us feel good inside. And therefore, we should share and care for one another and protect each other. Now, the opposing argument to this is that altruism, or human nature to help one another, is merely a biological process or a biological attribute that allows the whole of the species to survive. And that now that we are intelligent, we should be able to kind of set aside altruism as something that we can choose to do to help those around us, but our human minds allow us to specifically choose who we want to help. Let's just put it that way. And if an animal is going to help another animal, they might not judge the other animal. But humans are definitely going to judge one another and see whether they're worthy of the help, whether they believe the person is helping themselves. I mean, there's a lot of thoughts that go through a person's head. And I'm not even talking about merely, altruism in the form of money or charity or a cause or a group, but rather an independent person and their choice to help a person who needs it, whether it be just giving them some words of encouragement or giving them something greater, like, maybe helping them to find a job or a house or whatnot, whatever it may be. Now, these are little things that we do for each other. And so my thought is that it's very simple. It's in the heart. It's something that we have and something that we want to do. It's something that makes us happy. But I can only view that through my subjective reality, okay? I don't know if if all other people feel good when they help others. We know that we have sociopaths and psychopaths out there that, may or may not feel remorse or empathy towards others. And people are very difficult to distinguish from one another. And not to mention our histories and all the things that we've been raised to believe. Our parents might have told us that America was the greatest. Fuck Mexico, fuck Canada. Everybody else sucks, and that we need to just take care of our own. And then maybe we grow to realize that these borders are really just invisible lines, and that, Mexicans, whites, Canadians, French, whatever, everybody just really intermingles in this world. And it's almost like stepping back from the whole and looking at it, or stepping back from the parts, I guess, and looking at it as a whole, to say, oh, shit, what's really going on here? Billions of years of evolution of the planets and the universe, and here we are, this little pale blue dot with these people on here who are so frail. Even though we're so strong and we can endure so much, one large asteroid impact would just end humanity. So often it comes up, what I truly believe is that the only thing that can really bring people together is a disaster. It's always been that way. I'll tell you, as an American citizen, the one time I've seen people the most connected as Americans and caring and really getting together and sharing the grief was after September 11th, 2001. And that morning I was getting ready to go roofing with my friend. We were going to go work. I got to his house and we looked at the news, and holy shit, what just happened? It blew our minds. For a week after that, everybody seemed to be really connected. Maybe a month. But let me tell you something. Now looking back at it, 15 years later, I see that we were together, but it was at the cost of being against someone else. People driving around with their American or their rebel flags in the back of their pickup saying America's the greatest, turn the sand to glass, we're going to bomb those guys. And people were angry. And so we were able to use that as a catalyst to go into the Middle East, go into Iraq with a false pretense for war. But the people were behind it because they truly believed that we had to end this, whatever it took. And that even though people knew Saddam had nothing to do with bin Laden, that our own government had trained bin Laden, they didn't care. They just wanted to see retribution. So this altruism went right out the window, the way I see it. It was like, it was a great thing for a minute, but then you realize it's at the cost of others. So when I say disaster, I'm saying there's going to have to be, say, a worldwide disaster for something like that to ever happen, where people get together. Or a change of consciousness. Now, a few years back, I believe, I was researching this theory about the cosmic wave theory, that from the center of the Milky Way galaxy emanates from this black hole, whatever you want to call it in the center, emanates these patterns, these repeating cycles of patterns that emanate as light waves, radio waves, whatever it may be, these waves of energy that people believe change culture over time, that the human mind and genetics are affected by these waves. Now, this is all just speculation. I'm bringing this up for a point. And they believe that every so often we go into another age, such as now we're transferring into, people say, oh, we're entering the golden age. The truth is, if you're really looking at the Kali Yuga, which is the ages, we're actually, I believe, in the Bronze Age, just coming out of the Dark Ages. So there's a long way to go, hundreds if not thousands of years before we're in any type of golden age. But people want so desperately to think that since we have all this technology, we're in this golden age. But anyway, the belief is that as you transfer, say, into the age of Aquarius, as we are now, a lot of talk about that, but it really is supposed to happen in like 2050, around there. It's irrelevant because it's not like one day we just change to Aquarius. It's like a gradual transformation. Think of it like the Mayan calendar. The end of the Mayan calendar. My buddy sent me a message yesterday saying, did you know that the calendar wasn't actually the end of time, that it was supposed to be just the end of a cycle? I'm like, don't get me started. I spent years researching this stuff. Yeah, I know. But everything's a cycle. That's the whole point, So people believe that because of this cycle, that there's a time when the universe or the galaxy will fill humanity with this light energy where we'll be able to see our true natures, our true selves, see each other for who we are, see through the illusion, the veil, where we all might have telepathy or be connected. To me, this is the same desire as waiting for a major disaster to happen. If you're waiting for a disaster to get everybody together, it's already too late. And if you're waiting for God or the universe to enlighten you so we can get along with each other, it's already too late as well. In other words, here we are as humans. We're here doing the best we can. And we don't know exactly how to relate to other people, so we create a consensus reality. So back to the intelligence part. People I've discussed things with, I've noticed a lot of folks not overthink things. They just over-describe things, such as this discussion with altruism when a person says, well, it's inherently part of our genetic makeup, and then we do this and that. And I say, but don't you feel it in your heart to want to help other people? And then maybe a description will come up of, a person would say, well, sure, but that's just because of our programming as we were raised, we were told to help one another. And I disagree with this. I feel like guilt is something that we're born with. It's not something that we develop as much as people would like to think. In other words, and this is total speculation too, because people have been raised in situations where they had no parenting and kids were found that had been raised in, say, cages or whatnot. No, you don't just develop empathy and emotion and altruism just out of thin air. It is created by this, life you live, by seeing things. But what some of the things that you see are other people not helping others. It makes you feel shitty inside. And then you see others helping people and it makes you feel good inside. And so you decide, I want to feel good inside, so I'm going to help people. And it just, I guess you can bring all the scientific approach to it you want, but your heart tells you what's right. And a lot of people would call you that delusion, if you will. A lot of people would say, well, if you're just following your heart and not your mind, I can't argue with that being a bad thing, because I say the same thing to people. I say, like, let's say for this presidential election, some people are voting with their hearts and not with their minds. I can't say, just always, think with your heart, because our hearts are influenced by our perceptions of the world. So we can't just say everyone has this equal capacity for love or for caring or for, I don't know. It's hard to speak about these things from my eyeballs, okay, from my point of view, because I know that each one of you have your own inputs and your own things that you think are important. Like, I just have this firm belief that humans helping humans to perpetuate the species or to perpetuate happiness or just to get along with one another, it's really all we've got. It's our only choice. Whether there's a scientific or a spiritual reason for caring about one another, it's something that we need to work on more. And I've been programmed with the rest of everyone to believe that, you got to look out for number one. And I grew up thinking, I have to look out for my family first and look out for my country first. Well, I guess I never really bought into the country bullshit. I always said, I love my country, I'll stand up for it, but it has nothing to do with the U.S. government. And when I say the U.S., I talk about the citizens, the people I live with. Because the rest of the world seems to have an illusion that the U.S. are just a bunch of idiots, and it's not that way. We're not idiots. It's just easy to see that a few people make stupid decisions, and that, bears on the whole. Now, if Americans, if I can leave on one note, I would say, if you're an American that you feel like the rest of the world looks at Americans unfavorably, and you believe that that's not right because you think, well, they're just judging Americans based on a few idiots that made bad decisions or said stupid things. Now, if you're an American that believes that America is great and the people are great, and you see what I'm talking about, now imagine if you lived in Iraq or the Middle East somewhere, and then you had other countries saying, oh, well, they're all just a bunch of dumb terrorists. They all just want to blow up America. Just blow up their country. And Americans' approach to the xenophobic approach to terrorism is no different than the terrorist approach to Western democracy and authoritarianism. It's judging an entire culture based on the actions of a few. Now, believe me, with Muslims out there, they outrank Christians by far. They outrank all religions by far. But how come there aren't more terrorist attacks? Because people say that all Islam just wants to, blow up the infidels. And I don't want to get into this whole, political statement here, because that's not what this is. I'm just saying that it's easy for us to despise others who judge us, not understanding us. But we seem to not be able to see how we are judging others. It can be as simple as making fun of French people and saying, oh, Frenchies, or yeah, they're white, you're white. Oh, it's okay. We can make fun of white cultures, the same way we do with Russia or elsewhere. It's like, it's okay as long as they're within the same race. It's like people just don't think. People just don't think. I live in a world where I'm stupid in many ways and intelligent in many ways, and everybody else is the same. But we're all stupid and intelligent in different ways. So I may be able to discuss something with someone for a long time, and then all of a sudden the conversation shifts, and then I have no idea what they're talking about, or vice versa. So just remember that we all have our own thing going on, and that not many people are actually out to get you. But those ones that are, they are out there. And I'm saving that for another video. I'm going to make that one next. So it's a little psychopathics and sociopathic. Talk about it later. Anyway, just love one another, man.